And I'm messing up more stuff. There we go. All right. Boy, what a great start to this stream that was. Welcome, everyone, to the Budweiser Pro Series, the NNSCRA's Sunday night series run by Michael Norman. We've been bringing you coverage, of course, of the Winter Series, which is not the series we're bringing you tonight, despite what the logo said on the front there for a moment. So instead, now you're just going to get the background footage. That is the one thing that I totally whiffed when I was getting ready for this, and then I whiffed my audio, so you didn't hear anything for about the first 30 seconds. I'm glad I caught it early this time. Boy, we're off to a great start, aren't we? Maybe my co-commentator will be able to brighten things up here a little bit. I've got someone new up here. I've got Donlon for the co-commentator seat.
Yes, sir.
Don, it is cool to have you up here. I don't think I've ever called one of these with you before, so great to have you up here. Of course, we just saw you on track a few days ago. But yeah, when you reached out to me, I was quite delighted to see that, and I think we're gonna have a good time tonight. So thank you seriously for hopping up here.
Always, Andrew. Thank you for having me up here just to watch and commentate this race with you. I'm sure it's going to be not only exciting for us, but exciting for the people watching this too.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, we got Martinsville for crying out loud. It's the penultimate race of the regular season. This is the 9th race overall of the season. But yeah, we got the chase beginning after next week's race, which will also be live here on the channel. That will be from Daytona. But tonight it's Martinsville, the paperclip, and let me go ahead and pull up the current point standings and let you guys know kind of what the situation is. So, got some familiar names, of course, since this is the NNSCRA series. So a lot of the same guys running both series. But Ulysses Sandoval is currently leading the points by 16 over a tie for second between Michael Norman and Nick Gunther. Both those guys are locked into the chase, which is starting in a few weeks' time. But Ulysses has not won a single race this season, and yet he is the point leader. Fancy that. Jack Merkel is fourth in the standings, not locked in, but looking pretty darn good. Cody Lama, Seth Cole, and Joshua Mercurio are currently the guys that are in the chase. There are going to be 8 spots, however, due to some guys wondering if they're not going to be able to make all the chase races, they may relinquish their chase spots to some others. So as of right now, that would bump Matt McIntyre up into chase contention, and then would be Blake Warren after that, who would be the first man out. And he is behind McIntyre by 7 points, which with this points format, that's not a whole lot because it goes from 50 points for first down to 5 points for 10th, 5 points for pole. You get 5 points for leading a lap, 5 for leading the most, and then also 2 points for leading the most laps. And there are stage points as well, so there's a lot of different point scenarios that are going to be playing out here. Some other guys that may be able to work their way forward in the standings. So we'll definitely keep you guys posted on that once this race is concluded. In the meantime, we're just going to be calling it as we see it. Just having some fun. This race is going to be 125 laps in length. So that should only be 1 pit stop, I believe, on fuel. However, of course, depending on how cautions fall, tires might be the way to go. Dunn, it looks like you did turn some laps in practice. I'll go ahead and ask you. This is a version of Martinsville that I have not seen very much of. So how did it feel from a drivability standpoint?
Well, I haven't raced at this version of Martinsville a lot myself. I might have only raced it one other time, so I'm a little bit not familiar, but very familiar with this track. And I think it's going to be the kind of race where I think we're going to see a lot of, kind of different, how are the drivers going to tackle this track? And the one thing I noticed this track is that you really have to attack the corners in order to be able to get, put in some really blistering lap times, because I saw in practice Jack Murgo was able to hit a 20.319, which is the fastest out of anyone I've seen. And then we had qualifying, which, he is on the pole with a 20.313. So I think it's a lot, what kind of, how you're going to be able to get around this track to maximize. And not only that, but how you're going to be able to conserve your tires as well, because tires are definitely going to be a big factor here. And, with it being kind of a tighter, short track and high speeds you're going on the straightaways too, and how much you have to use the brakes. It's definitely going to be, I think, a challenge for some. I think to see, who can outdo others in that regard. So I think it's going to be very intriguing to see how that all plays out. So I'm excited to see, what these drivers can do to try to get to the front and win this.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we got, I believe it's going to be a 12 driver field here. Pretty regular number there for the NNSCRA guys. Of course, they were running the uh, FCRD uh, Next Gen Mod Cup Physics, which will, I think, also play a factor into keeping it pretty interesting. That's the thing, though, with this series. They run Cup Physics for most of the races except for the Super Speedways. They actually switch over to the CTS. So that'll be the mod that they'll be using next week come Daytona. But as you were saying, yeah, Martinsville is all going to be about how you corner, trying to save the tires, try not to slide them too much, and just try to keep them under you. Manual cautions are going to be in effect for this race. The game is not going to be throwing any. The admins will be calling them if it is a multi-car incident only. If someone spins out on their own, or if only one car goes around after getting hit, no caution. It has to be two cars or more that have gone around, and then it will be thrown. So I think that's going to definitely play into it here. We'll see what's going to take place. I'm definitely intrigued to see what happens. I have not seen this series yet. I know that they were just at Lime Rock, I believe, most recently. That race won by Zach Rogers. Speaking of which, speaking of winners, I should say, winners this season. So far, only Josh Mercurio is the only multi-time winner this season in these first 8 races that have been run. Michael Norman has a win. He is, of course, the head admin of this thing. He took the win at Charlotte. Um, Josh Mercurio got his 2 wins at Las Vegas and Phoenix. Of course, we mentioned Zach Rogers at Lime Rock. Nick Gunther won it 2 weeks ago at Talladega. Jack Merkel with a win at Bristol Motor Speedway prior to that. Anthony McCurry won it at Kansas. That was the 3rd race of the season. And the opening race of the season, also at Daytona, Matt McIntyre was able to get the job done at that one. So how about that? 7 winners through 8 races. We'll see if maybe Sandoval can maybe break his win drought here and try to extend that point lead. Checking through everything else stat wise. All these drivers are in the field, all the race winners. So you got a lot of competitive drivers in this thing. Speaking of which, actually, I think Don and I will go ahead and turn it over to you to go down this starting lineup here where they're qualified.
All right, thank you, Andrew. So on the pole is Jack Moko, and as I said a little bit ago, he qualified. He was one of the fastest in practice. I saw him one of the fastest in qualifying as well. So not a surprise to see him on the pole, and then sharing the front row with him is Nick Gunther. Well, obviously another one of those drivers who's fast here as well, but also looking, as you said, Andrew, a little bit ago, fighting for that uh, points lead, along with Michael Norman, who starts behind him in row 2, and then Mercurio's on the outside of Norman, and then we have Anthony Mercury in 5th, and then Emmanuel Arnett in 6th, and then we have go back to row 4, Ulysses Sandoval in the 96, your points leader, and then we have Austin LaPlante in the number 84. He will share the 4th row with Sandoval. And then going back to row number 5, we have Blake Moore and Matt McIntyre. And the final row shows Cody Lamas and Seth Cole, and that rounds out the field for tonight's, at least the starting lineup for tonight's Budweiser Pro Online Series at Martinsville. So, 12 drivers, and like I said, I'm very intrigued to see what these 12 drivers can do tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is going to be fun. These guys are running out their happy hour right now, practicing pit stops, getting some final laps in, and getting the crashing out of their system, as you can clearly see. Again, apologies for the bit of a mix-up there with the uh, wrong logo being shown initially, but we fixed that. I will also say that due to this kind of being a bit of a last-minute arrangement, getting this series on, all the graphics are still like kind of close to what we've been running on Tuesday nights. So the lap ticker is not going to be visible. I am going to do my very best to keep everyone updated as far as how many laps we have remaining and make sure we get that out there. Of course, the clock is not going to be showing. Um, again, everything that was set up for streaming was set up pretty much solely for Josh's series. So I'm going to probably work on very soon here getting a more permanent, flexible overlay that I can use for pretty much any series. All I have to do is just maybe change a thing or two to make that work. Because in addition to both of these NNSCRA series that I am doing, I will say this, in 2 weeks' time, that is going to be Sunday, the 22nd. Yes, 22nd. Or no, is it 22nd? Yeah, 22nd. That is going to be another new series that we are going to be bringing to you guys, or at least a one-off for that one. We're going to be bringing you guys coverage of Talladega Nights, Jeffrey Elliott's series from Talladega. So keep an eye out for that. Of course, we're going to be back on Tuesday night for Josh's series. That is going to be from South Boston. And then next week, next Sunday at Daytona for the regular season finale for this series. So, some cool stuff going on here. So glad that I'm able to bring this to you guys and kind of join the broadcasting fray here, along with JTN, Tarnation, Flatout. Um, I'm never going to be able to hold a candle to any of those guys, but even the mere fact that I'm doing this just at all is so much fun, and I'm very, very, very grateful for the opportunity. Uh, Happy hour showing about a minute and a half left, and at this rate, it looks like they're probably going to run that out. And yeah, pretty much all familiar drivers that we've been seeing throughout this thing over in Josh's series. So it's just going to be a matter of yeah, how clean can you keep it? Because done as you said, I mean, obviously you and I maybe haven't run this track quite as much, but of course, whenever you're going to Martinsville, it's just such a different beast. With you got to nail your braking zones, but you can't get it too late. You can't get it too early because then you'll lose so much time. You got to watch out for everyone else's braking zones. There's so much that can go into making this a very painful experience. Speaking of painful, I just saw Emmanuel Hartnett go to the moon. But yeah, I know these guys are going to do their best to try to keep it clean.
Yeah, and for a track like this, Martinsville, it's a whole different kind of beast in terms of just how this track is designed and the way it's set up. There's very little room for error if you think about it, and uh, you know, it's very easy to make a mistake here. It's one of those tracks I think it's the most difficult, I think, to be mistake free the whole race and whatnot. Like I said, you're going at a high rate of speed on the straightaways, then you have to brake really late going into the turns, but then you have to worry about, the cars in front of you and behind you as well. And if you make, one mistake, it can be detrimental to your race.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. We have kicked it to the race session. I'm going to go ahead and get on and off track, and then we will get to it. Get you guys some proper live pictures here. And here we are. Again, we kind of had to do some modifications, and I know that they might look a little bit sloppy, but I think we kind of did the best that we could, getting everything up and running. Thank you to Michael Norman for allowing me to call this thing, as this field is rolling. There is the 24 and the 55 on the front row. I think someone may have missed the grid because we are wrecking it up. These guys do like to have a little bit of fun whenever they can, that's for sure. Reset. Pick two.
To your cars.
And also, don't quote me on this, but I will say that coming next year, potentially, we may bring you some Maverick Cup Series action as well. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, something completely different. So, hopefully, we get that opportunity. Of course, that is not official yet, so we'll wait and see. Let's double check one more thing here. Make sure that looks good. That looks good. GNL is actually working this time. Yeah, I think we are set and good to go. Awesomeness. So 12 drivers. Let's get a little antsy to get rolling there.
Yeah, they
Oh,
are.
man.
They really want to hammer it down now and just get the race going and
Have some fun in the process here. So let's see, you've got, if I'm not mistaken, yep, that is Chevy and Mazda on the front row. Fancy that. And then I believe a pair of Fords in row number 2, and then another Ford and a Toyota. Toyota Chevy, Ford Pontiac, and I think a Seth driving. Is that a Honda? I think it's a Honda. Anyways, here we go for Martinsville. It's the Pro Series, Budweiser Pro Series, underway for Martinsville for 125 laps.
Cody Oh! Well, Blake Bowen's self-spot on the back stretch. Yes, sir. Yeah, and already we're starting to see, you know, Gunther and Merkel really opening up a humongous gap between Mercurial and the rest of the field, and they're definitely all, doing something, driving it in the turns, driving the track, unlike what the others are doing. So they have definitely hit their marks already, and it's clearly showing it already as they are trying to separate themselves from the rest of the field. Almost, it almost looked like he was gonna try to do the undercut, going off the turn two, but just couldn't make it stick. Yeah, and like I said, he's one of the fastest I've seen during practice. So, not a surprise to see Muggle, being in the lead and actually starting to open up quite a lot more now. In fact, he was, about, open up the gap more about over 2 tenths faster than Gunther that lap. So, without a doubt, Muggle is, you know, really making it work, and Gunther is just trying to hang on, trying to figure out what can he do to try to keep up with Jack Muckle. But as you said, Andrew, we got long ways to go. Man, they are, like you said, they are on top of one another. This is a dogfight for the fourth spot, and McCurry and Hornet are still going after it for fourth. Oh, McIntyre spun. Yeah, that was that was a self spin. Oh, yellow is out. Yellow is out on the track. Yeah, that ain't that the truth. Yeah, and you see everybody on pit road now. Yeah, it looked like that Michael Norman, like you said, just outbraked himself, and Emmanuel Harvard, did not see that one coming at all. Wow, that was 2 tires. Yeah, look, yeah, he's going back to pit road. He might have sped, or you know what? He might not have taken the left side, because I noticed when he entered his pit stop, he was way too close to the wall. And when you get too close to the wall, sometimes, the crew won't allow, to change, won't have enough room to change your left side. That's what it is. So he's coming back to change left side tires. Yeah, and like, oh, Mercilio drifts up just a little bit, and keeps it going. Oh, he hits the wall. Now we're gonna have a battle for third, heating up once again. And that's what I'm saying. You have to minimize your mistakes at this track. And unfortunately for Mercilio, he had the spot made and hit. Oh, look out! Locked up the tires too. And keep in mind as well, we're not far away. Oh, wow! What a save by Sandoval. I was gonna say that, keep in mind, we're not far away from the end of stage one as well. So we only have 7 laps remaining in stage one, and keep in mind, there's no caution in stages, between the stages. So it's, at this point, you're just gonna have to hammer it out and come up with different strategy as well, in case we have green flag pit stops, in case this does happen to go have a long green flag run. But yeah, 6 laps to go in this first stage. Who can win the stage one? Yeah, I've been going back and forth. Yeah, Jack Muggle once again laying the hammer down. But as you said, Gunther is keeping it up with him. I wonder if Gunther may have found something there was a spinner, I guess, on the backstretch. I think it was the 48 of Cody Lamas that did a loop, but we could keep on. Oh, and we also have a battle for third in the stage. Oh, yeah, wow. Absolutely. We also got Merkel and Nick Gunther dealing with some lap traffic now. Matt McIntyre in the 738 and Blake Ward in the 12. Might be 75 if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Yeah, this battle has been heating up. Yeah. Yeah, this battle. Whoa, Mercurio. Oh, there they go. That's good. That is a yellow flag. Yeah, you're right. He just overdrove the corner and then tried to gas it up to try to get the momentum, and he gassed it up too much, and gets into 61 and then collected the 22 as well. The 61 hit the wall, but was able to straighten it out and keep on going. So he's gonna keep third, but unfortunately for Mercurio and Norman, they weren't so lucky. That's the beauty of moderate damage. Looks like
Okay, something must be up with my hotkey. What is going on here? Thank you, Nick and Blake, for calling that. Okay, while pit stops are happening, I'm going to take a look at OBS here because that should not be happening. Actually, you know what? I think what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to disable whatever hotkey I had for that because that's turning into a problem. Oh my goodness gracious. Amateur hour over here. Again, I have not hit the control key once, and that's what I have my hotkey set to mute my mic. I have not hit it. I have not hit it except at the beginning of the stream. So all I'm doing is hitting 1 and 2 for the difference in shots in the camera buttons. So I don't understand why it's doing that.
did
Oh
it
my.
not did it not like record your audio?
Dunn, you were the only person that was being heard on this stream for a while.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, dearie me. Dearie
Oh,
me. Alright, well, let's see. Where's that hotkey? Where is it? Mute, unmute. Can those. Alright, that is not happening again. Done. Problem solved. Holy
it
crap. I am so sorry. That is twice now. Oh my gosh.
happens to the best of us.
Well, it happened at frickin' Daytona for the Winter Series. And now this. Thank you guys. I'm so glad that you guys are able to type in chat while you race. You just saved my butt. All right, back to business. Here we go. Jack Merkel and Nick Gunther on the front row there as we are back to racing. Gunther gonna, or excuse me, Merkel gonna clear, but they are awfully close. Michael Norman was able to get up there, but McCurry gonna jump him on that one, throw the block. He has been mighty aggressive with those blocks. Norman and then Hartnett now in the top 5. Bit of a mischief there, it looked like, from Norman, but they're going to be able to keep it going straight. Sandoval 6, Lamas, and then Mercurio. Blake Horn kicking it sideways there. I know that 99 is going to look to try to make up some ground. It basically seems like in this race you've got the 24, maybe like a half a step ahead of the 55. And then those two are just in a league of their own compared to everyone else. So I mean, keep an eye, of course, on those two, and then the rest of the field throughout. As the 99 going to make the move on the 48. 48's going to let him have that one pretty easily, and move Mercurio up to, I believe that will be P7. Lap 52 now of 125 currently. I think these guys might now be okay to make it on fuel, though. I could be wrong on that.
Well, only one way to find out.
Yeah, see if this plays out a green flag. Mercury now actually starting to kind of pull away from the rest of the field there, kind of on his own in third.
Well, at least for McCurry, he is one of those drivers that's, assuming, depending on who are all the drivers that can make it to the chase or not, he is one of those drivers that's fighting for one of those chase spots as well. So every point counts, and he's making a lot of aggressive moves and throwing some pretty aggressive blocks. But in his situation, that's what you have to do, and so far, it's paying dividends at the moment.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, we're 20 laps away from the next stage and when points are going to be handed out. So there is that to consider. So I'm sure that's why he was being a bit aggressive. I did not mention him on the bubble. And that's because from what I was told, he wasn't going to be able to make all the races. I think both him and someone else, I think it may have been the 83, but don't quote me on that. But I do know that those guys were right around the bubble positions as far as making it in. So um, again, it's top 8 in points. But again, they may make some exceptions for guys that know that they won't be able to run, and then that would, of course, not really be fair to anyone else. So some good sportsmanship being shown, at least in that regard. As boy, you want to talk about making some moves on the outside lane? That's not something you see very often. How about the 99 kicking the back end out on the outside of the 83 of Hartnett? Them guys are going at it. You might get the runoff this time.
Oh, nope.
Not quite, no. And Hartnett's going to take that spot back. Sandoval now looking to try to make that work to get by. Holy cow, I got some good stuff going on here. And this is all for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Whoa, Norman, as he's also going to possibly fall back into the fray here. See, nearly had an issue.
Oh, the 96 and the 99 nearly made contact off of 4. They were like inches apart. If they made contact, boy, it was very minuscule because that should have been a wreck. Oh,
Big
Mercurial
send!
locks up the brakes.
48 just spun it. See if he's able to get that thing going. But man, what a send that was. Hartnett's still going to be able to hold on to 6th. Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying, Cody Lamas just retired the car.
Oh dear. Probably said, yep, that was enough self spins for me. I'm done. That's Lamas out of the race. Pretty sure he was pretty well up there in points, so don't think that will hurt his chase chances too badly. Now here's the thing, only the top 10 get points as far as like finishing position. Of course, that's not going to include if you lead a lap or anything like that. So basically now that leaves only one driver that is not going to get any points.
Cody also did not get any stage points as well, too.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if, oh goodness. We got a bit of shenanigans going on here. Matt McIntyre, Austin LaPlante going at it, and that's right in front of Merkel.
Oh,
So
man. Yeah, I was
we get a
just
little
looking
sketch.
at this. Yeah, that's definitely, these two have definitely been battling out the last couple of laps now. Wonder, hopefully there's nothing going on between these two. Well, now they're starting to separate themselves, so.
Yeah, I mean these two are also they hang out in TeamSpeak a lot. They're yeah, NNSCRA, they've got a tight group of guys. I know that a bunch of them are going to the Indy 500. Plenty of them have been to their fair share of WWE shows. Of course, I got to meet up with a few of them at Hershey Park. I got to be on Dylan Young's roller coaster dedicated channel called We the Coasters. So that was pretty sweet. You can go check out that channel, by the way. That's Dylan Young's channel. Seth Cole was on there. Kyle Matthews was there. So, yeah, I guess what I'm trying to get at here is a lot of these guys, especially like LaPlante and McIntyre, they're pretty tight knit.
Oh,
So.
Mercurial spins off of 2 and 2.
Oh no! After making up all that ground, and just like that, he has lost it, and he's going to go a lap down.
We'll see. He's going to have to fight off Jack, but
Yeah, how aggressive is he going to be about that, though, is the question. We're on lap 66 of, actually taking lap 68 now for the 24. And 99's not going to let him have it right away.
not only that, but how patient is Jack going to be?
He's got a pretty decent lead over the 55 as he's going to go ahead and make the move. He should be able to get it here. Yep.
Piece of cake.
Yeah. Ooh, someone spun off 4. Boy, yeah, there's been a lot of a lot of craziness going on here, and yet it really hasn't translated into cautions and bunching the field up a ton. It's just been it's been calm chaos. I guess is a good way to describe this race so far. As Blake Warren is back on pit road, completing like lap 69. Now starting lap 70. We're getting pretty deep into this race here.
A little over halfway through.
Yeah, well into halfway here.
About 5 laps to go this time. As far
that was lag from 78.
That was sketchy.
Wait, is that a Nissan?
That is a Nissan.
Oh my gosh! I think I called a Honda earlier. Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
you did.
I thought that was a Honda when I was looking at it from a distance. Nope, that is a dadgum Nissan that is now getting passed by a Mazda. I'm entertained.
Keep in mind, both Mercurio and Seth, they are both a lap down now. The first car is 1 lap down, so if a caution comes out, you know, Mercurio will get the free pass.
Absolutely, and Mercurio is racing Seth for position, so there is that. As there goes Gunther, he's going to make easy work of that, but now Mercurio is going to try to get back in his rhythm, try to stay ahead of the 78. Checking on through the rest of the field here. It is now... And Mercurio is pretty much all by his lonesome. He is almost like half a lap behind second place. And pretty much like, let's see, yeah, pretty much a third of a lap ahead of Michael Norman in 4th. And then you got Hartnett, Sandoval, and then, yeah, 7th place Mercurio a lap down. So everyone's pretty spread out right now, but still, everyone's having a whole time holding on to these things. Oh my gosh. I think Matt McIntyre maybe just blew his front tires.
Final lap of stage 2.
Oh, he does have a flat tire. Matt McIntyre has a flat left front tire. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we were coming to complete this stage. I think Merkel may have just overdrove that corner, but he is going to sweep the stages in this thing. Watch out for the 738 here. Trying to nurse that thing around. He's going to bring it down pit road. I think he said, all right, that's enough. Driving on a flat tire. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
That's no bueno. You never want to drive around the track on a flat tire. I've done that plenty of times. It's not fun.
No. No, it is not. That wall is just going to be sticking out at you every single time. We got 50 laps to go here. Under 50 laps to go. And Jack Merkel catching Sandoval. 6th place runner here. Boy, so far in this thing, can you say domination from this Jeff Gordon, number 24, driven by Jack Merkel?
Kind of like the old Jeff Gordon days, in a way.
Yeah.
But he won here a bunch of times. Yeah, I will say this is a domination by Jack Merkel. Not in the sense that, you know, he's leading, you know, I want to say every single lap at this point, if I'm not mistaken, but just being able to outrun Nick Gunther, Anthony Mercurio, you know, pretty much the whole field right now, and he's lapping, you know, Emmanuel Harnett, and Jack Merkel is, without a doubt, putting on a clinic tonight, as he is clearly showing it right now.
Yeah, bringing out that old Jeff Gordon, like you said. I mean, this is the track that Jeff Gordon got his final win. I almost said Jack Gordon.
Oh no,
that would have been something. Yeah. I'll totally call him that if he wins this, and I interview him. I'm totally going to call him that. Boy, that thing's still going on here. Yeah, they're about to lap the 4th place driver. But I at the same time, I've raced enough with Jack Merkel to not be surprised at this. He is definitely one of those drivers that's in a league of his own. I would put him in the same league with like Gunther and, oh man, someone like
they got spun.
Boy, yeah, he's in a gaggle right now. They're gonna. Oh my goodness gracious!
That was. Jack had to really back off and not hit the 22. Man, that could have been ugly.
Jack's heart had to have been in his throat right there. Oof. And Gunther's going, yeah, guys, keep it up. And that looks like they're going to settle it here now. Wait,
Lap track.
how far up the road is 61? He's still pretty ways up there. So I don't think we're going to
Yeah,
see him get lapped.
yeah,
On lap 84.
61 is entering turn 3, and Jack Mogel's just getting off of turn 2 now.
Still a lot going on here. Oh my goodness. That was there was some excitement there that I was not expecting to see. But yeah, Gunther right now, the gap between those guys currently at 2 seconds. I think Nick's kind of hoping a little more of that happens for the 24. As he's going to get by the 12. Going to try to make work of the 22 here next. All but the top 3 have been lapped. That is domination in a nutshell right there. Seth Cole and Austin LaPlante for position here, though. 8th and 9th.
Actually, no, that's not for the position. Yes, they are
No.
8th and 9th, but LaPlante is 1 lap behind Seth.
Oh, wow, yeah, you're right. And then you got Blake Warren, who's 6 laps down. Although, oh, as there goes the plant. And although Blake Warren and Matt McIntyre are on the same lap, that's for 5 points.
Yeah.
If those two get to racing each other. As, ooh, Sandoval's on pit road. Interesting. I wonder if maybe they won't make it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Ooh,
I don't know.
And speaking of Warren and McIntyre, they have found each other. Oh, that was the lockup of the century. And just like that, Blake Warren gets away from him. But yeah, that's for 5 points, and I think both these guys are trying their best to make it into the chase.
Oh, man!
And right as we say that. Oh, dear.
Commentators, Jakes.
Yeah. Welcome to the booth, my man. That is a common thing. The old jinx. So now that Sandoval's pitted.
LaPlante is pitting. LaPlante is pitting. He's got a right front tire down.
And probably just from locking up. I wonder if maybe that's what's happening. Maybe these guys are just locking up those front tires and opting to pit this McIntyre's. Sorry, that was just kind of funny right there. Matt McIntyre still has not gotten it back going. But we are at 35 laps to go. Like I said, I mean, it's a short race. It's only 25%. We've only had 2 cautions. Only 37 minutes in this session that have been run. Which, boy, that goes to show you, like, if we were doing the 1-hour special for Josh's series, it'd be well into the 200 lap range.
Yeah.
If we had a long run going, or at least maybe like past like 175 or something like that. So that's how quickly it gets going. Gap currently between first and second, 2.8 seconds. Still a valiant effort here from Gunther. But, yeah, Merkel's just been that little bit of a one step ahead kind of deal. Just inch by inch able to pull away. But at the same time, yeah, he hasn't been flawless, and Gunther's been solidly consistent, I would say. So, I mean, it wouldn't take much for things to bunch back up, but I think even then, it's gonna be one of these two. They're gonna be winning it. If this thing stays green, 24 is looking mighty good. Got 31 laps to go here. We're on lap 95 of 125. He may actually lap the 61.
Yeah, he's not far away from Mercury. He might get him within, I want to say, the next 10 laps at least.
Taking on through the rest of the field here. Right now, the tightest group going right now is the 83, who is just ahead of the 12. I mean, obviously not for position, but 12 and 738 starting to get back up to him. Actually, no, never mind. Yeah, he pitted, so that's several laps off. Sandoval catching 61. Of course, being on fresher tires. Just trying to make up whatever ground that he can. Gonna hold on to that point lead, I would imagine. Although Gunther's going to be chipping into that pretty well here. And Norman right now, currently still running 4th, so that battle for the point lead is definitely going to tighten up here a little bit.
I think Gunther's going to be the biggest. Oh, we got McIntyre speeding at the start-finish line on the front stretch.
Oh
As
my goodness! Oh,
everybody turns left to avoid him. Boy, that is a scary place to stop at.
I think. Oh man, yeah. There's. Okay, yep. There he goes. At least he's off the racing line now, so that's good. And then yeah, he's gonna have to several point turn this thing. It has not been a fun night for that 738. That is for sure. We saw him with the tire down for quite a while, and 3rd place has now been lapped. Holy
Oh
moly!
wow, that was way sooner than I expected. I wonder if McCurry made a mistake and Mirko got
Yeah.
up to him that fast.
Yeah, seeing the lap time, he was in the 22s. Yeah, I think he had a bit of an error, so that's what allowed that. Man.
Oh, Mirko's pitting.
Oh, okay. So they are not good. Interesting. I would have thought that they would have been, so that is good to know, as we've got 25 laps to go now, 24. Gunther stays out a lap. I mean, as long as these guys keep it clean and green for that, still going to be looking pretty good. But Gunther, I think at this point, is going to be hoping for a yellow. And then, boy, howdy, would that shake things up.
Yeah, trap Mirko a lap down too. That would be, that would work wonders in his favor.
Yeah, that would be huge. As Merkel's getting 4 tires on that thing. And out he goes. We're going to look through the rest of the field at the moment. Things still pretty tight. For,
he's in a major amount of traffic. Stuck behind, making it 3 wide.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
McIntyre opted out of that, and wisely so. Michael Norman kind of making it easier for him there. Technically for position, at least as it stands. But Nick Gunther, currently the race leader, still staying out on track. He's just behind Anthony McCurry at the moment. Gonna opt to make that move. We are coming to 20 laps to go here. Now here's a question. Can Gunther make it? Was he lagging back as he was saving fuel?
I don't know. That is a wonderful question. The last time these drivers pitted was on lap 47. So look out, we got 2 cars around.
Oh, that's gonna be the yellow, I think.
Yes, yellow's out.
Oh my, okay.
That changes everything, Andrew.
Everything and then some. Oh
wow.
My. Here I was thinking, man, we were just about to see a dominating performance, and I was going to congratulate the 24 on that. Never say never.
Huge opportunity for Nick to pounce on, being ahead of Jack Bogle, who is a lap down. By the way, Jack Bogle is also Kelly is the first driver 1 lap down.
Yeah, Nick's the only car in the lead lap.
I think McCurry might be the only one who gets the free pass, and I think Mirko might be stuck a lap down, Andrew.
I think he will be if Nick doesn't have to pit. If so, then Mirko would get the wave around, but that's still going to put him in a gaggle of cars that he's going to have to pass. And it looks like the option is going to be for Nick to come down pit road here. Maybe? Maybe not? Yes? No?
We'll see.
The answer is yes. No! Oh!
Oh boy.
He has just trapped Merkel a lap down.
He does not want the 24 back on the lead lap, Andrew. He does not want to see the 24 in his rearview mirror to fight with him for the win.
Unbelievable. Oh my gosh. We just saw this whole thing go on its head. We are going to go ahead and while these guys are pitting. We're going to take a look and see what has bought out the yellow here. I believe we have 83.61 all within close quarters there. And it actually would have been 83 getting into the 99, it looks like. Oh, Sandoval making a bold move. And that may have just thrown the 83 off a little bit. And then, yeah, the 96 kind of maybe trying to avoid spinning it as well, just stopped. And yeah, that was all right in front of the 55.
Yeah, it looked like that, Emmanuel, like you said, looking at it, the 96, Ulysses, if I apologize if I, butchered, messed up the
Oh,
pronunciation, but it
Nick's on
looked
pit
like,
road.
oh,
He has come
okay,
down. Maybe opting for the safe play here.
probably. That would allow Jack Bogo to be the wave around too.
Yeah, I think that's going to give everybody a lap pretty much.
Interesting.
But he's still going to be the leader. And he is going to cross the start finish line this time for 15 laps to go. So now it's just a matter of who's where. Let's see where he scores here. Oh no, he's not the wait, what?
He's not the leader on the scoreboard. That must be some sort of
24.
error.
Okay, yeah, now I'm confused. Because because here's the thing, the 24 is a lap down. And now Nick just pitted the second time around. So in theory, that should give the wave around to the 24. And yeah, but it looks like they are now sorting it out. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that seemed a bit backwards.
Yeah, what happened was when Nick pitted, he was still on, Jack Bogo did the wave around, but when, right before Nick went out of the pit road, Jack, passed him. So I don't think that Jack Bogo was supposed to do that.
No, yeah, so it looks like they're probably going to get it all sorted out now. Again, everyone else has pretty much gotten the wave around here. Although I do believe that Anthony McCurry is going to be second place here. We'll see where they're going to be here because they are going to give him another lap to sort it out. Let's see, who we got on the lead lap?
Nick Gunther, Anthony McCurry, Jack Bogo, and Michael Norman.
Okay, and also showing Emmanuel Hartnett also lead lap. But he's way back there, so I don't think he's going to be a factor here. 55, 61, 24, and then 22. These front four are all on the lead lap, all racing for the win. And we are coming to 12 laps to go. Done. This is going to be interesting.
Oh, you bet.
Ooh, misshift there for the 61.
Everybody keeps it clean so far.
See how long they're able to keep it that way. Oh, no, they're not. Way back there. LaPlante and Warren in trouble. We'll see if that brings out the yellow or not. They did not spin.
Nope, they did not spin. They gathered it back up. No caution.
No caution. And Merkel is back. And he is right on the tail of the 55. But the 55 he's been solid. So for 10, he's got to hold on to it for 10 laps here. We saw Merkel kicking out the back end, trying to keep it on there. Holy cow, 99.
One thing I want to point out too, Merkel is on 5-lap older tires than Nick Gunther. So I wonder how the tire degradation was for Jack Bogo, and then if so, is that going to be the deciding factor in this finish?
Is the tire wear that heavy that the 5 laps could make a difference? Gunther's doing a good job holding him off right now. We got 9 laps to go, excuse me. 9 laps remaining. These two are still mighty close.
McCurry, oh, big lockup for Jack.
Oh, dear. It seems like he's kind of getting off his game here.
Apologize for cutting you off. I just saw a big lockup on Jack, and that might have hurt him a lot.
Hey, anytime you see something like that, certainly feel free to call it out. 8 laps to go here. And Gunther just ran his personal best of the entire race. Oh, if he doesn't kick out the back end there.
Oh, that was so close for Nick.
Nick's
You got to go for it now, Andrew. It's 7 laps to go.
7 laps to go. He did go a tenth quicker that lap. Merkel has got to be fuming at that caution as McCary is currently in third place. He's battling the 99 there. That is not for position. Norman is fourth, and then going back to fifth place, Emmanuel Hartnett. Those are all the guys on the lead lap right now. 6 laps remaining. Merkel's trying everything that he can, but Gunther seems to have found that extra gear that he needed. And the roles have now reversed, and he is pulling away. 5 laps remaining, and his
Oh,
last couple
wow.
laps have all been in the .4s.
Yeah, Merkel lost 4 tenths on Nick Gunther that lap. And
Oh
also,
my
we got
gosh.
lap traffic up ahead with Blake Ward and Arsenal Plant. Could that also be, could they be Jack Merkel's best friends that he desperately needs to
He
have any
needs it
shot?
at this point. 4 to go. He needs it.
Oh,
There's
LaPlante spins, but he's out of the way.
nothing else you can really say is, yep, he's down on the inside there.
Oh, Matt.
McIntyre is around again. 3 to go. Blake Warren is going to yield to the 55. We kept saying over in the Winter Series how much heartbreak that the 55 of Nick Gunther endured, or rather, he drives a 4 over there. Oh man, as he kicks it out there. He was finally able to get that W at Chicagoland, and now he has had fate go his way here tonight. Was playing second fiddle to the 24, and now coming to the white flag. The roles have reversed. He stayed out on track.
Whoa, watch
Ooh,
out.
watch out for Seth Cole. The white flag is out here for the 55, Nick Gunther, to bring this one home. The 24 is closing back in,
I
but I
don't think
think
it's
that's
going to
going to
be
be,
enough.
yeah, it's going to be a bit too little too late unless something crazy happens here with the 738. But coming to the checkered flag, Nick Gunther, a little luck, but a lot of skill is going to get him this win here at Martinsville. In race 9 of the Budweiser Pro Series. Can you really believe what we just saw there? He didn't even do a burnout. He just got right off track. I think Merkel did the same thing. Neither of those
Wow.
guys, I think, are really able to comprehend what the heck just took place.
I'm in disbelief.
There we go. We'll have Sandoval do the burnouts for us. Oh, and then get clobbered.
And my game crashed. Luckily, I saved the
Perfect
replay. So,
timing. Perfect
well, it
timing.
didn't. Oh, it just. Oh, I don't know why. Well, luckily, I wasn't in the race. That would have
Oh,
been
man.
detrimental.
Yeah, that would have been an issue. But hey, even if you were in the race, hey, at least it would have happened after the checker.
Well, funny enough, I had my game crashed right before uh, right before this race began. So,
Oh, that's funny.
yeah,
Wow.
Nick Gunther's your winner, and like you said, Andrew, a little bit of luck, but regardless if it was luck or not, that was still a brilliant call by Nick Gunther to stay out, see if he can, hope for a caution, and it paid off so well.
Yeah, he stayed out there. I mean, obviously he had to pit because he ended up coming down there,
User joined your
and
channel.
by doing that, that gave the opportunity back to Merkel because he was able to take the wave around. Oh my gosh! But then, well, you got to give credit to Gunther though, because as soon as the roles were reversed there and he was the one leading, he was just laying down consistent lap after consistent lap, just zooming. And Merkel just wasn't quite able to find that rhythm that he had that first run or that long run there. So, um, as much as we're saying that that Gunther got lucky, I mean, that was only a small part of it. He then had to execute, and he executed wonderfully. So that's just how racing goes. And of course, yeah, we're talking about those two. finishing first and second. Anthony McCurry is going to emerge from this thing with a third place finish, so we'll definitely try to get a word with him as well. Remaining finishers here: Michael Norman and Emmanuel Hartnett, fourth and fifth. Then Josh Mercurio, one lap down. Ulysses Sandoval, seventh. Seth Cole, Austin LaPlante, and Blake Warner are all going to be taking home some points. Matt McIntyre, and then, of course, Cody Lamas out of the race. Was the only retiree, actually. Matt McIntyre did finish the race, albeit 14 laps down. But no points for him. Blake Warner gets 5. But wow. That was, yeah, I was ready to just start singing the praises for the 24, and then that got crazy. So that was pretty sweet. I think we'll go ahead and just go down the order here. I think we'll start with probably the guy that might be the least baffled by everything that just took place. Let's see if we can get the 61 of Anthony McCurry up here.
User was moved to your channel.
Give it his little stubble.
Anthony McCurry, you got a copy.
Oh, hello. Hi.
Hello there, Mr. Podium Finisher. Getting with the third place there. Yeah, you definitely or probably I hate to word it this way, but I would say probably best of the rest. Compared to the top two, but no, yeah, you were consistently there with the top 5, top 3 pretty much the whole time. You had some great battles there with the 99 and a few others, but ultimately, yeah, you never really fell out of that window despite some of the late race craziness. Kind of tell me what it was like driving the track. It seemed like it was a pretty tough one, and kind of how you're feeling with getting that third place.
The track was fun. What made it difficult was I lost second gear as soon as the green flag came out, and you have to get all the drive off the turns. You basically had to use second gear, so I had
Mm.
no drive off of any corner from the start of the race. So I couldn't keep up with the 2 leaders because they were the only 2 that had all their gears throughout the race. Because like as soon as like we got 10 or 15 laps in, like the 22 lost a gear, the 99 lost a gear, the 83 lost a gear. Like everybody started losing gears behind me, so it all kind of evened out behind. So I was able to just run the race kind of on an island for a little while, like about 25-30 laps after like the start. But the top 2 just walked away, and I was like, okay, well, I guess this is where I'm at. But the track felt great. I was a little nervous because sometimes online races at Martinsville kind of don't go very well, but this one was pretty fun.
That's good to hear. Yeah, I did not think that shifting was going to come into play that much. I thought I saw guys shifting, but obviously, with NR, it doesn't accurately show it when you're out of the car. So I wasn't really sure that was going to be such a big factor. So that's interesting to know. But otherwise, I mean, I guess the other question that I'll have for you, even though I think I kind of know the answer, but kind of what was the actual fuel window there? Because I was thinking that, oh yeah, everyone's gonna be good to go, and then all of a sudden Merkel pits, and then the caution came out, and that just threw a whole wrench into the thing.
So the fuel window was close. So Merkel pitted because going back to having third gear or using second gear, you burn more fuel when you shift down and get more power out of the turn. So they were burning more fuel. I was 3 laps good, and I was banking that the race would go green the rest of the way and have the top 2 have to pit. So I would just stay out and gain the track position on track and hope they didn't run me down before the end of the race. That didn't happen. But no, what I found out though is I don't know if you've interviewed Nick yet, but he had actually shifted into using third gear only like halfway through the run on that last green flag run before the last caution came out. I didn't know he had done that, and I would like to know how he's able to get power out of the turns because he was still like walking away about a tenth a lap. So it took a while for him to catch up, but whatever. But he was going to be fine to the end also, so it really just depended on whether or not you were shifting or not. So everyone behind me pretty much was good to go. It's just whether or not you had to shift.
Gotcha. That is really, really interesting. I'm glad that we were able to get that scoop from you. Don, do you have any questions for him?
Well, first of all, Anthony, what a good drive to hang on to third, and what was a very, kind of a not just difficult for you to hang on to, third with the issues that you had with you broken your second gear, but fighting off other drivers as well. And how tough was it, mentally to try to,
Nah.
you know, how tough?
The timing of
Sorry,
that was
sorry, that
brilliant.
was my
Oh,
wife.
good. But I
How
just want to know,
tough was it mentally? Nah.
Right.
how tough was it mentally to hold off, all those cars behind you, losing second gear, and on top of the fact that, y'all were driving at Martinsville, which is known to be a very difficult track to make passes at, anyways.
It was so I was mirror driving a lot when the guys behind were still faster. Like the battle with Josh for most of the opening laps was really fun because he had all of his gears, but it was easy. Well, it wasn't easy, but it was fun to be able to like throw a block down one of the straights. And I use like the F1 or World Endurance thing where you just like pick a line and stay there. But since you don't have to hold it, just like if he swoops the outside, you kind of like fade out to the outside and everything. So this track is so fun to do that because there's a lot of braking in it, and I like braking zones and such. So, but Josh eventually, when he would get around me, I was like, okay, well, he's gonna walk away. But then he would like overdrive the corner, and I would have like a chance, and I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna try and outbrake him here and see if it works. And so it was really fun. Like I don't like it wasn't really stressful. If that's, I guess that's the answer. It was the mentality was like this is really fun racing, and we don't really some at the higher speed tracks you don't really get to kind of bump or do these kind of sends or dives or anything because there's little to no braking involved. So it was so fun to be able to get to just like go door to door and like try to one upsmanship everybody else throughout the whole race.
You made for some good TV, that's for sure.
Oh,
But
good.
no, yeah, yeah, but no, man, yeah. Despite the disadvantage there without second gear, you still had some great pace, and it showed. And hey, you were able to get a podium, so great finish for you there. Of course, we'll let you have the floor for any closing thoughts or shout outs. You may have at it.
Oh, thanks Fortnite Squad Racing. Thanks to Celsius. Thanks to go to abruzzi.com for any of your sim racing needs. They have all the things that you need to get to start your sim racing career. They got wheels, they got pedals, gloves, all the whole bit. Go to abruzzi.co.uk. It's not on the card, but it should be. I don't have a card painted for it, and I really need to. But go there. They're really fun. They're really good. And thanks, Michael, for hosting the race, and thank you guys for broadcasting. And I look forward to Daytona.
And shout out to Autumn for that little
Oh
cameo
yeah.
there. So
Shout out to my wife for the cameo.
that was the best time nah I've ever heard.
She has the uncanny ability to not know what's going on, but still contribute. So it's really funny.
Nothing will ever beat that NXS race at Las Vegas.
That was funny.
She started cheering me on. I was like, yeah, I have a fan now.
Right.
So that was good stuff. A great finish, man. Hoping to keep seeing you out here for these and maybe some Tuesday nights.
Yeah, man. Thanks, guys.
Take care, my man.
User was moved out
Well,
of your channel.
I think he rejoined the TeamSpeak after disconnecting. I think, or is he gone again?
I think he's
If he
gone
if he
again.
doesn't want to talk, I don't blame him. I'm of course referring to Jack Merkel, who finished second. I saw him disconnect and then he joined back again, and now I think he's gone again. If he doesn't want to talk, I don't blame him. Admittedly, he did not. Okay, yep, you got the official word from Michael Norman. Michael, you don't have to be muted, man. You can speak if you want to. Michael Norman is in here.
Yeah, the guy who finished fourth. I'm just doing my race review right now.
No, yeah, you're good. I mean, hey, you're the one that puts on this thing, so I always let Josh in whenever we're done too, and I know that Ben Snyder jumps on TarnationTV too, so I think it's only fair that
Yeah, I'm
we at
just
least
trying to
have
see
you
at
here.
what lap that final caution was on. I don't remember.
I gotcha.
Lab 106, I think.
Oh yeah, it was 106.
You gotta get done over here on like the replay committee or something, because I'm telling you, he was on the ball this whole race.
I
It was
need to
awesome.
know what happened that caused that.
That was
In
a
the meantime,
lockup.
though, would you be able to just quickly move our race winner up here
I'll get
if
my
he wants to talk?
Gotcha. Oh, I'm sure he does.
User
tortured
was
over
moved
every
to your channel.
You tortured what? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I kind of tortured a lot of people. I'll tell you that. Well, in that last one, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, let me just say this for sure. I basically used the phrase. There was a lot of luck in that, but then at the end of
There
that, it
was.
just came down to big time skill. Because, dude, you were laying down some lap times. It's like you found a new gear on that final run to get ahead of Jack. Were you doing anything differently there, or did you just feel more comfortable once you were out front?
This was literally just all luck and no skill, to tell you the truth. I mean, I was pretty agitated in a room that I just couldn't catch the 24 at all, and I did a little gamesmanship, if you were, about what happened there. Unfortunately, with the whole caution situation there, with whole people being a lap down or whatnot. Um, I mean, there's gonna be something different in the rule book for sure, because I know some people are very angry. I'm looking at Facebook right now; they're very angry with like what I've done, which is fair. It's fair. I guess like you could say I could be an overly competitive guy when things are on the line or whatever, but I mean that was a rather interesting way to win one of these things.
I mean, if I may ask, because maybe I'm just being ignorant over here. I don't know, but I didn't see anything that you did wrong. I mean, sure, you stayed out and then you stayed out and lap under the caution, which I thought was odd, but I didn't see anything really weird about that.
Okay, so let me give you the whole rundown of what happened.
Did it?
As soon as Jack pit under the green flag, I knew, like, I was checking my F3, and I'm like, oh, this is checkmate. I'm going to be able to make it to the rest of the way as long as the caution doesn't come out. I'm good. I'm like, I was lying about the amount of fuel I had left, too. I had, like, I said I was, like, a little bit short, then I'm like, I'm going to be close. And then I told everyone once the caution came out, I was 5 laps to the good, so it was fine. The rear tires were gone, so that's why I stayed in third gear. I didn't shift anymore because I knew at that point, well, if you shift, you're going to use more RPM. You're going to be at that high RPM a lot longer than some other people. So I'm like, I'm just going to stick. As soon as Jack got up to like a 2-second lead, I just stayed in third gear the entire way around. My rear tires were still fine, believe it or not. It was good. It was right then and there, fine. And when the caution came out, I stayed out to trap everybody a lap down. But I also messed around with the ruling a little bit and came down pit road the second time. So I basically trapped Jack. Well, he got back on the lead lap because of the whole wave around stuff. And I probably should have been at the longest line in terms of like the running order or whatnot. I think that's what probably should have happened anyway. But I just wanted to call. I literally told him in the group chat down there, like, you know what? I'm choosing violence today. I woke up and chose violence. We're at Martinsville. Let the chaos ensue. No one's going to get happy at Martinsville. I know I wasn't happy. Jack's not happy. Josh is not happy. Literally no one is happy about what's going on down there. At that point, I mean, I'm not happy the way I did it either, so it makes sense.
I mean, me and Dunn are happy. We
Well,
had a
yeah,
good time up
you
here.
two are happy. You
We were
guys have
motorsport
the best seats in the house. You literally got like food and booze drinking coming up to you. You're probably drinking on the job, but that's okay. You know, I want some of that shit too. You know, you also got like, I don't know, like a little bit of pot up there, maybe. I'm just kidding. I don't know if you do or not. You guys, we're just sitting there watching everything happen. You're just saying everything that's happened. You're not in this mess that we're in.
That's what makes it fun.
I know.
But no, yeah. I mean, again, though, I mean, at the end of the day, despite the scenario, despite whatever happened out there, at the end of the day, that gear that you found, maybe literally, at the end, you were laying down some great consistent lap times, so you got a lot to be proud of there. Jack's got a lot to be proud of because he was dominating that thing. He lapped everybody but you at one point, legitimately. So you guys ran a fantastic race. There's no doubt about that. So I I always just gotta sing you guys praises, and it's because I know how good you guys are.
I mean, he's the best in the business. There's really no doubt about it. He's just the best in the business. So like, he probably might not think of it now because I mean, as I said, like, I stopped trying. I literally told him in the chat, like, I stopped trying ever since Jack got to a 2-second lead. I just stopped trying. So I was just driving around the rest of the way, and again, like luck was on my side. I mean, what can I say? I have Oswald the Lucky Rabbit right beside me, so of course it makes sense.
I guess it made up for the rest of the Winter Series races.
Well, I guess so. You know what? That's true.
Don, you got anything for him?
Yeah, so obviously, Nick, you, as I said it to Andrew, you played the strategy, very well as far as staying out. And I thought at first that, you played the strategy staying out, hoping for a caution in case you had the pit, but hearing the fact that you were good to the end on field, that shocked me and Andrew. Uh, then Jack, he pitted, then he had like 5 laps older tires than you did. So, how much, if any, do you think that made a difference as far as you've been able to, being able to hold on and win this thing?
It would have made a massive difference. There was no way I was going to be able to defend him. There was no way. I mean, that's why he's the best in the business. I mean, him and I punch each other on the shoulders all the time, but of course, I mean, my attitude's really starting to show again about me being an absolute little well, I can't say that word I'm thinking of, but you get the point, though. I mean,
little
I'm just a little poo. Yeah, I guess you could say. I'm just an overly competitive guy, I guess. I mean, I've always had that competitive spirit inside me, and I guess I say things I probably shouldn't on the racetrack, and it does come back to haunt me anyway when I sleep at night. Like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that.
I'm just over here reviewing the race, and I just found something out that has very much upset the head admin here.
If it's what I think it is, Michael, then I agree.
I think I think we are going.
I'm just going to say that last caution should not have been a caution.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I heard.
I think
as head admin, I pulled a Benjamin Snyder. I heard somebody say multi-car wreck, and I threw the caution. And then after looking at it back, the second car that was technically involved never fully spun out.
All right, hold on, Michael. I can attest to somebody that's down there. They thought as some cars were just stopped on the racetrack. I'm not sure who it was, but when they were like stopped on the racetrack, the track was kind of blocked, and it was kind of like right in front of me as well. I mean again, that's up to you how you want to do it because it's your series. But I can see why. I can see why. I can see why that you would want to throw the caution, though. I can see why.
Well, we'll discuss that later. In the meantime, Nick, I'll let you finish up your interview. I didn't mean to kind of cut you off halfway there.
No, don't worry. I probably deserve to tell you the truth.
I mean, one thing you at least deserve is for getting it done. You do at least deserve your closing thoughts and your shout outs, as we always do.
Well, I guess at this point, I might as well just apologize to the field for the whole gamesmanship moment there and me being a little poo-poo. I guess that's the right word to say at this point, being a little poo-poo anyway.
I appreciate that.
Just my attitude being terrible like it always is. I mean, that's just how I am, I guess. There's no I've been trying to work on it for 10 years, and it seems to me like a few years go by, I do well, and a few years I'm just back to the way I was again. So I'm at that point of the roller coaster, it looks like. Let's see. I guess, well, I don't know if I'll ever promote my YouTube channel on this one or not this time. I'm just going to say no. Sponsor list, I guess. Go me. Yay. That's it.
Are you sponsor list, though?
I mean, you had something on the car, but that's okay.
I forked the bill.
Hey, that is perfectly fine. Hey, Michael's forking for this, so. But no, yeah, I mean, again, at the end of the day, you drove well, you drove great, and whatever comes of the after effects will not take away how you drove there for that final. I think that was like a 15-lap stretch. So, good job on that, and I'll let you guys have at it here. Done. I'll get your closing thoughts here because, especially hearing everything that we've just heard,
was moved out of your channel.
This was spicy.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had a lot more fun up on the booth watching this race and commentating you than I had thought. So this was definitely a refreshing to get a different kind of perspective. Normally I would be out there, racing, but to be up here,
joined your channel.
It's definitely quite a different, perspective to look at things. But I think this race, Jack Muckle and Nick Gunther were a class of their own, but Jack Muckle, he was the one that really was able to do it, I think better than everyone else as far as how he's able to tackle the track and being able to, extend that lead over Nick Gunther. And, we saw a lot of drivers that were, struggling to stay on the lead lap and drivers that were struggling for grip. And it just seemed that Jack Muckle, yeah, of course, Nick Gunther did have a lot of grip. It looks like he found a lot of grip too, and that's why he was able to hang on with Jack for as long as he did. But it just seems like that Jack Muckle did everything right that he needed to do tonight, Andrew, and he was on his way to win. And then, unfortunately, he made a pit stop, and then that uh, caution came out, and that really put him in a vulnerable spot. And then the whole deal with what Nick did, you know, maybe that's an unwritten rule that some people don't like. I don't really know. I have to look at it, but it definitely made it for an exciting, what was it, 15 lap shootout to the end between two drivers that were, without a doubt in my mind, the best in the field, and definitely showed it at the end. And Jack Bogle definitely had the most dominant, run all night. Leading, I want to say close to, I want to say 100 some laps. I think right around 100 to be
He led 100
exact.
exactly. I'm
Yeah.
looking at the
Exactly, dang.
export.
Yeah, so Jack Bogle, it looked like he was cruising on his way to victory, and then suddenly he had to pit, and then other drivers like McCurry and Gunther saying they did not have to pit, which was, I think, was very interesting, Andrew. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about how you tackle the track as well, and shifting gears as well. And
User left your
I didn't
channel.
think about it too, but shifting gears, it definitely factors in how much you had to burn off your fuel and whatnot or whatever. So I think that definitely played into a factor as to why Jack Berger had to pit suddenly. Um, but like I said, it came down to between him and Nick Gunther for the win, and you know, credit to both of them where credit is due. Both of them made it exciting for you and I up here. That definitely we were. I was definitely motorsport entertained. I hope you were as well.
Oh, no doubt about it. That was awesome. That was something to hear that Gunther and probably McCurry were both going to be good on fuel, which would have put Merkel at third at best. So, or second if he was able to close back in on the 61. So yeah, it would have played out very interestingly regardless, if that caution had happened or not. Which apparently, yeah, was. I guess the fact that only one car was technically around shouldn't have been a caution. So that's why I'm glad I'm not an admin, because those types of things are very, very tricky. So, I mean, credit to Michael Norman for what he does and for putting on this series. We'll be seeing these guys again here next week at Daytona for the regular season finale. 64 laps of action then, and we'll see what happens for that one. But as long as Nick Gunther's win stands, which I'm almost certain that it will, he will become only the second multi-time winner this season, and that is two of the last three, of course, winning at Talladega. So we'll see what happens at Daytona. Of course, a totally different beast, and we'll definitely be back here for that. Thank you, John, though, for being up here, man. You were a lot of fun, and I've always had a blast calling it with like Josh and Blaine, and we asked Blake Warren when I got to call IMRC races with him, and I remember Joe Rutkowski a while back. So it's always great having a guy to be able to bounce back and forth with, and I really had a good time with you up here, and hopefully we can do this again.
Yeah, once again, thank you, Andrew, for this opportunity. I certainly am, fortunate to be given this opportunity to try it out, test the waters, if you will, and see a different perspective up on the booth rather than being in the car and racing against these drivers. And yeah, I'm looking forward to try to do more of these again if possible and see how the future goes. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. So I definitely am, like I said, appreciative of getting this opportunity to call this race with you as well, Andrew. And we got Daytona next week. I might be on the booth with you. We'll see how it goes. But definitely should be a fun one next week.
Oh, it will be for sure. Yep, I'll definitely keep posted on that. Definitely everyone tune back in 7:45 Eastern Standard Time for that one. Tune in 8:30 Eastern Time. This Tuesday, the NNSCRA Winter Series from South Boston, where I will not have my mic muted for half of the race. Now that that's been resolved. And then, of course, 2 weeks' time, December 22nd, Talladega Nights from Talladega. So we got some cool stuff coming up for everybody here over these next few weeks, coming up leading up to Christmas. So until Tuesday, thank you to everyone who tuned in to check it out. Thank you also, shout out to Nick and Blake Warren for calling out that error with the audio and for allowing that to get fixed. So that will not happen again. If I need to play something over the background, I will mute the audio and then fix what I need to do, and I'll sort that out to ensure it does not happen again. Thank you, everyone, again. See you guys in a couple days. Until then, though, stay safe, stay warm,